Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. By the way, I really appreciate every time I upload an episode and when I check back in to upload the next days, it's just lovely to see the amount of downloads. So if you're here supporting the show, listening in, thank you so much. I'd love to hear from you. I see the numbers, but I don't know if you've just discovered the show or if maybe you're listening to the back catalogue. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if there's any particular topics you'd like me to riff on, also just get in touch. So today I don't know, my voice is actually okay, but I was using it a lot last night because I went to the Train concert at Brisbane's Riverstage. It was a perfect Brisbane May evening. It was balmy, it was clear, it was just a fantastic night. And Train, I think they're not megastars, but they are a really great sort of pub rock, pub pop type of band. So it was a really just friendly atmosphere. Everyone was seated. I prefer to be standing and dancing, but look, it's fine. I was dancing in my seat. I'm talking about it because there were a couple of things that kind of stood out for me. The first was the support acts were really well known. Lifehouse, not the actual band, but two of members, including the lead singer, did some nice acoustic sets, including Hanging by a Moment, which is an amazing song. Then KT Tunstall came on, and I think you might know her. I mainly know her from a song, Suddenly I See. I didn't realise how exceptional she was as a performer. And she brought on a drummer to help her out and just add a bit more energy to her set. The drummer was out of control good. They were both together, just really complimentary. But then she brought up sort of halfway through her set this guy, Andy. And he is the drummer for Razorlight. So they sing a song called America, which I love. And she was joking that he plays in two different bands. And so she's like, let's see which band is better. So what they did was like a mashup between her song and then his song, America. They played it and just mashing it up together. So she'd pause her song, he'd sing his part, then they'd like go over the top and riff it in. It was just amazing. So this theme of mashups is probably what I want to talk about the most, because this theme continued. And I don't know if it was intentional or if I'm sure this had been set up before, but the DJ then started doing some fun things, like so in between sets while they're setting up for the new band. He started playing Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight. And if you know that song, you know that there's this massive build-up before the iconic drums kick in. So the music is building up, and then as the drum is about to hit, he then switches songs to Sweet Caroline. And then as that is building up to the chorus, we don't hear it, he switches another song. So everyone's like, and it's creating this kind of fun energy. The fact that he's like playing something that we all know, but then cutting it off and switching it. Adding in that contrast that I talk about all the time in my book, The 2-Hour Workshop Blueprint. Now this continued in Train set. So they would start some songs and then they would actually contrast and mash things up and bring other songs in, including Aussie artists. So even KT Tunstall, she was singing some Natalie Imbruglia, a song called Torn. Train was singing In Excess. And then they did a really great set of Goitier, brought KT Tunstall back on. And I love this idea of mashups, and my favourite music when I do gym workouts, are mashups. There's a really great mashup between the song Get Low by Little John, which is like hip-hoppy, R&B, and that's mashed up to Bee Gees' Staying Alive, which is disco, and I love cruising to it, I love working out to it, I just love mashups. It's just a new spin on an existing song. And so that's just the theme for today, is something to think about is what can you mash up in your work? Like where in your life could you steal from maybe another genre, another industry? What's an unexpected combination that if you brought them together might give your career, your business or brand a bit of an edge? What genre are you currently playing and what could you potentially mash with that? I think right now I'm playing a bit of funk actually in my business, and not funk as in like a low funk, but funk as in I think there's a tight rhythm, including like the daily podcast, the weekly Work Fame Substack articles, but also funk because there's kind of loosely structured freedom. I know when to groove, I know when to pause. So I think I think I'm playing funk at the moment. Maybe I should mix some hard rock in there or something perhaps I don't know, like it's just thinking about these questions, like even maybe a mashup version of your workday. What would that look like? Or if you're working for a client, maybe you can mash up a couple of different methodologies just to keep things really fresh. And is there some type of classic idea, something you're working on that you think might be ready for a remix? I think it's a really fun idea thinking about mashups and remixes, something that I might even bring into the work with my clients or even provoke them and go, okay, we're doing strategy, but how do we remix strategy with something else? I don't know. Anyway, curious to hear your thoughts on that. What will you be mashing up? And if you ever get a chance to see Train live, I would highly recommend them. Oh, by the way, that's the other thing I want to share. Oh, by the way, the lead singer of Train, his name is Pat Monahan. And what I loved when they kicked off was that he was just interacting with the crowd big time. So they would just throw him their phones. He would take selfies with him and them on stage. So that'd be where they are. He'd take the selfie, throw it back. He did that about 10 times. So next time I go to a Train concert, definitely going to try and get up the front to get my selfie. And then he was also like throwing out T-shirts to the crowd, like getting them signed on stage and then throwing them out. Just really like kind of rallied everyone up, I guess. It was kind of his icebreaker for the concert. All right. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.